Welcome to another Heroes of Newerth Hero Spotlight, featuring Deadlift the Necrofury, a man cursed by the Scar's corruption with the ability to raise the dead, but at what cost? Deadlift is a strength hero who will bring a very strong push presence as he raises the dead around him to do his bidding. Deadlift will also contribute plenty in teamfights, including resurrecting teammates who have fallen. Deadlift's first ability is Death Grip. Deadlift smashes his fist into the ground, sending out a controllable wave beneath the earth which grasps the first enemy hero it hits, immobilizing them as well as dealing magic damage. Deadlift has the ability to change the direction of Death Grip after it is first initially casted to either change targets or prevent the opponent from juking it. When Deadlift initially casts Death Grip, it begins a channel of the ability that lasts up to 2.6 seconds. If the player clicks the ability again during the channel, it will change the direction of the projectile to move towards the mouse cursor on screen. The amount of time an enemy is immobilized can also vary, depending on how much channel time Deadlift casted with the ability, up to 4 seconds duration at level 4. Changing direction of Death Grip can catch opponents off guard, as well as cause the channel time of the ability to last a bit longer, which maximizes the immobilize. Death Grip can also be used as an effective farming tool as it will deal magic damage to creeps it hits. Deadlift's second ability is Onslaught. Deadlift targets an enemy unit or structure and commands all nearby non-hero units to attack the target for 5 seconds. The target Onslaught is cast on will also be hit with a tapering slow that lasts 1.5 seconds. Onslaught also grants attack and move speed to the commanded units for the 5-second duration. As you may expect, Onslaught has several different effective uses for it. First off, the slow of Onslaught is great for chasing down enemies to secure a kill. However, the power of the slow will be determined based on how many creeps are nearby. With no creeps, it will only be a 15% slow, and it will increase by 5% for each creep controlled by Onslaught, up to 80%. Then of course there is the assisted damage from the creeps, which includes their attack and move speed increase for the 5 seconds. Onslaught will be heavily assisted by the Dead Shall Rise ability, which we will get into shortly. Onslaught is also one of the most powerful pushing tools in the game, as you may target a structure with it, causing all creeps in the area to attack the building. Timing Onslaught when an enemy creep wave pushes out will prove to be the most effective use of it when pushing structures. Also keeping in mind that although Onslaught doesn't affect heroes, it will work on hero minions, which includes minions such as Boo Boo from Wild Soul, turning their pets against them. And yes, Onslaught does work with Kongor as well. Deadlift's third ability is the Dead Shall Rise. Passively causes non-hero units that die in a radius around Deadlift to revive and fight alongside you for up to a 50-second duration. There will be a cap of how many minions you can revive, up to 6 at a time. These units are uncontrollable and will attack enemies near them. The units revived from the Dead Shall Rise will deal up to 125% damage, but will take 200% damage themselves. The Dead Shall Rise can also be activated, which will nuke an area targeted by Deadlift for magic damage, as well as spawn 2 undead units to fight by his side. The activation will cost Deadlift 8% of his maximum health to cast. These undead units count towards the 6 unit cap and will always be priority over other units under Deadlift's command. As stated earlier, this ability works in great synergy with Onslaught, guaranteeing a specific amount of non-hero units being nearby to command in full force. Deadlift's ultimate is Resurrection. Whenever Deadlift is in a game, his teammates upon death will leave a gravestone behind. This gravestone can then be targeted by Deadlift and he can cast Resurrection on them, which after a channel time will revive the teammate at their location with a specific amount of life, depending on the level of Resurrection. Resurrection can be channeled from anywhere on the map. The player that is being resurrected may choose to accept or decline the resurrection. If they decline, the resurrection cooldown will be reset. The gravestones that are left behind when a teammate dies may also be destroyed by the enemy in 3 hits, which will prevent Deadlift from casting Resurrection. If a gravestone is destroyed while Deadlift is attempting to resurrect that teammate, even while they are deciding to accept or not, the ability will still go on cooldown. The teammate that gets resurrected will not lose any gold if they die within the next 30 seconds of being revived. However, the enemy will still receive full benefit of the kill, including increasing any kill streaks that may be occurring. Now let's take a look at some real game scenarios with Deadlift. Deadlift heads into the jungle, using his Death Grip to help farm a bit and having the Dead Shall Rise revive some neutrals. As a fight breaks out and his teammate's Grinix dies, he uses Resurrection on him, then proceeds to use Onslaught on Tundra to assist for the kill. Onslaught even turns Tundra's pet against him for more damage. Deadlift, seeing his teammate is about to get picked off, he runs into the trees. With information that more help is coming, he begins to cast Resurrection on Clanks. Deadlift then moves in using Death Grip as well as activating the Dead Shall Rise for more damage, and ultimately helps to turn around the fight. Here, Nymphora attempts to chase and set up a kill with Valkyrie. Deadlift turns and casts Onslaught on Nymphora as she is next to the creep wave, both massively slowing and putting unexpected damage out. Then with a solid death grip and help from Madman, Nymphora quickly falls. Here, we see a major strength of Deadlift. While pushing top, his team engages in a fight and loses Myrmidon. Quickly casting Resurrection from across the map, his team is able to win the fight while Deadlift proceeds to push and destroy the top tower. When it comes to item selection for Deadlift, a mixture of auras as well as being tanky will prove to be powerful. With that in mind, for early game, a Helm of the Black Legion and Abyssal Skull will prove to be excellent choices. For later game, Demonic Breastplate, Barrier Idol, and even Puzzle Box to assist more push can do a lot of work. Thank you for watching this Heroes of Newerth Hero Spotlight featuring Deadlift and Necrofury. Big shout out to Lock16k for his SBT submission of this hero and ultimately getting it implemented into the game. Be sure to check out Deadlift and his other avatars next patch.